Chris Rock played the long game and he got the last word, and those words were hilarious.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 controversial celebrities who got the last laugh.
This was hard work.
Yeah, sure.
And I said it in my speech and I'll say it again. If you work hard and you don't give up, you can do anything.
For this list, we'll be looking at celebs who pushed through or clapped back to controversy using their artistic craft, talent, or professional skills. What do you think of these comebacks? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Howard Stern. Despite labeling himself the king of all media, Howard Stern may just as well be called the king of all controversy. Stern made a name for himself in the 1980s by hosting a syndicated radio show on New York's WXRK.
I myself don't really have outrageous behavior, I don't think, but I'm a voyeur. I like to watch outrageous behavior, and I like to learn about outrageous behavior.
While the show was enormously popular, Stern was also a wickedly divisive figure, known for his outspoken opinions and general crassness. The FCC issued a total of over $2 million in fines to radio stations that carried Stern's morning show.
In 1987, I started getting fined by the FCC. And what happened was all the big corporations I worked for, Viacom, Clear Channel, they bowed to the government. They didn't challenge anything.
According to them, the stations were in breach of federal censorship laws, yet Stern couldn't stop winning. He generated 20 million listeners at the show's peak, set radio records, won a slew of awards, and made $500 million after signing with SiriusXM in 2004.
Because FM and AM radio have been so regulated, so overly commercialized, because the content has been so watered down, guys like me who make people laugh in the morning and appeal to millions of people, we can't do our act anymore.
Number 9. Megyn Kelly. Switching jobs is never easy, but when you work in the public eye and a former coworker publicly criticizes you, well, that makes it even more unpleasant.
I'm not interested in basically litigating something that is finished that makes my network look bad, okay?
Considering Bill O'Reilly was putting down Megyn Kelly for speaking out about harassment, something tells us he actually made it a lot easier for Kelly to leave Fox News. Despite the then influential anchor's naysaying, she quickly landed a job with NBC.
I am very grateful to NBC for this opportunity, and I am deeply thankful to Fox News for the wonderful 12 years I have had here.
Then in 2017, the tables were turned, and it was O'Reilly who found himself saying goodbye, and not by choice, amid allegations of impropriety, which puts his comments towards Kelly under a very different light.
The no spin zone is no more. Bill O'Reilly, the controversial face of Fox News for 21 years, was fired today by the network he helped put on the map.
Number 8. Kevin Hart. Back in 2018, it was announced that Kevin Hart would be hosting that year's Oscars award ceremony.
It was a dream of yours. You've always wanted to host the Oscars. I said you should host the Oscars. Then you get asked to, it must have been amazing when they asked you to host this year.
Unreal.
It didn't take long for the internet to act. Homophobic tweets that Hart had made 8 years earlier were dredged up, prompting a fierce backlash. While Hart stepped down as host, he initially refused to apologize for the tweets, claiming instead that he had grown as a person. When he did apologize, it was criticized for being insincere.
I've done all that I can do. So that was done within hopes that people can hear and understand how heartfelt and authentic it was. If you didn't, then I don't know what to tell you or do. I don't know what you're looking for.
However, 2019 saw Hart starring in a number of blockbuster films, and he later found success on Netflix. The streaming platform hosted the movie Fatherhood, the comedy special Irresponsible, and the documentary Kevin Hart Don't F This Up, which earned an Emmy nomination in 2020.
Do you regret, you wish you had done something differently?
Okay, let's just stop it right here. Because before people judge and go, Kevin Hart's an asshole, I want you to understand that there's a lot that you don't know.
Become a WatchMojo channel member and get exclusive perks like Mojo emojis, loyalty badges, priority comment replies, and exclusive members-only content. including live list rankings with the Mojo staff and peeks behind the scenes. Don't miss out.
Number 7. Elon Musk. Eras are defined by their tech giants, and we are living in the age of Elon Musk. The South African magnate is making self-driving electric cars, working on artificial intelligence, and sending private rockets into space.
What the hell is that?
That mysterious contrail liftoff while SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket sailing smoothly into the Friday night sky.
However, he has generated some controversy owing to his behavior on social media, which is quite ironic considering that he owns Twitter. Musk became a laughingstock in April of 2022 when he announced his intention to buy Twitter.
Elon Musk made a massive $44 billion bid for the company. But just 3 months later, he called it off. Twitter sued. Musk sued back.
Oh yeah, Twitter.
For many, it was seen as a baseless power move, but he got the last laugh on October 27th when the deal went through for $44 billion. He now owns one of the biggest services on the planet, and let's just say that he has fully committed to his new role.
The company, Twitter, does not even have a communications department, so we're, of course, waiting for Elon Musk to tell us, and it's really unpredictable when it comes to Elon Musk.
Number 6. The Beatles. Their songs have permeated the public consciousness. Even if you think you've never listened to them, sorry, you're wrong. To this day, the Beatles are recognized as one of the most influential bands of all time.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
However, not everyone saw the potential. In 1962, the fledgling band auditioned for Decca Records and were rejected on the grounds that guitar groups are on the way out, and then being told the band had no future in music. The incident has gone on to be known as the biggest mistake in music history. Less than 2 years later, Beatlemania swept the globe. Number 5. Chris Rock. Despite being a world-renowned comedian for decades, Chris Rock entered the stratosphere of fame on the night of March 27, 2022.
This is the first time most of the public is hearing from Rock after the controversial incident at last year's Academy Awards.
Rock was presenting an award at the Oscars when he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. In an act of flawed chivalry, Will Smith then walked on stage and slapped Rock across the face. While clearly stunned, Rock carried on with his duties and kept quiet about the incident for nearly a year. He finally unleashed his feelings through the Netflix special Selective Outrage.
Will Smith practices selective outrage. Practices selective outrage.
The special received a positive response, with Rock's treatment of the slap earning particular praise. Meanwhile, Will Smith has all but disappeared and was banned from the Academy Awards for the next 10 years.
You mentioned that you didn't anticipate it, at least not for 10 years. I don't think any of us anticipated it would be a full 10 years.
Number 4. Elvis Presley. It's amazing to think how quickly cultural norms change. Elvis Presley was widely criticized for his music, look, and performative style, all of which are very tame by today's standards.
You ain't nothing
He was considered a moral danger to the youth of America, and many of his concerts were met with violence and riots. He was even threatened with arrest in Florida for gyrating on stage.
Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
But the kids loved him, and there was simply no stopping his cultural influence, no matter how hard the Pearl Clutchers tried. Presley became the biggest star in the world, crossed racial boundaries, brought rock to a wider audience, and became the best-selling solo artist in the history of music.
Wise men say only
Number 3. Lady Gaga. This is a story of remaining true to yourself. Lady Gaga rose to prominence in the late 2000s, and there's no denying that her public persona played a large role in her fame, or infamy. She was intentionally provocative, often acting in an odd manner and wearing some truly outlandish outfits. Perhaps the most notable is the famous meat dress, which she wore to the 2010 MTV Video Music Awards.
I never thought I'd be asking Cher to hold my meat purse.
This dress, by the way, was displayed in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a metaphor for Lady Gaga's entire career. Strange, questionable, maybe a little offensive, but undeniably iconic. Gaga pushed through the controversy to become the biggest pop star in the world, an Oscar-winning songwriter, and a highly successful actress.
How do you do that?
Do what?
You don't change the subject.
Is that what I'm doing?
Nobody ever asked you about you, huh?
Number 2. Madonna. Who didn't have a problem with Madonna back in the day? The Vatican, feminists, family organizations, political activists, anti-consumerists, you name it. They were mad for one reason or another. While Madonna amassed a legion of devoted fans, you could find an equal number of people who hated her music, her image, and what she represented to the public.
I don't know why I get so much.
You realize this is being broadcast, don't you?
Yet, here we are in the 21st century, still talking about the iconic nature of Madonna. She defied the critics and did what she wanted, and in turn, changed the very fabric of pop culture.
I mean, after all this time, do you read critics?
Absolutely not.
No.
That's a slippery slide to get on.
In fact, Madonna's life and work is the subject of academic scrutiny, called Madonna studies, or more colloquially, Madonnaology. Now, how many celebrities can say that? Number 1. Eminem. A notoriously outspoken performer, there aren't many sections of society that escape Eminem's controversial lyrics, some of which have led the rapper to be labeled as homophobic in the early 2000s.
Moby, you can get stomped by Obi. You 36-year-old boy headed stand. You don't know me, you're too old, let go, it's over. Nobody listen to techno.
Keen to clarify that while his words pack a punch, they don't promote prejudice, Slim Shady silenced critics in style at the 43rd Grammy Awards in 2001.
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back in autumn, you must not have got them.
By performing Stan alongside LGBT icon Elton John and then embracing him at the song's close, M showed his true hand. And we tip our hat to that.
It reminds me that it's not so bad, not so bad.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.